Here we go. Of Aristophanes, also the precept, which is the instructions of Aristophanes, of the wisdom of Aristophanes, and of the deep wisdom of Aristophanes, if you've got these three genitives, who introduced in comedy, returned, remiss, or sent back from the infernus, from the infernal underworld, the Athenian Pericles. And he's present participating, he's vaticanantim, he's prophesizing that you not ought to, in the city, nutrire a lion. You shouldn't give nutrients to, you shouldn't nourish a lion in the city. Or if, however, if it did grow altus, I'm guessing altus means high or big, so if you've given nutrition to the lion and it's grown big, conveniere, to obsequiate. So it's more convenient, or it's best to obey it, basically, is what he's saying. He monitored, he advised, there's four he advised that praecupular nobilitas, the special nobility, and juvenes, young men of excited ingenium, of excited nature, that you should they should be refrenated, they should be reined in. But with nimio favour, with too much favour or support, and pastime means being fed, pastured is like when you pasture your animals, having fed them with profuse indulgence, quo minus usually means from. It can be good or bad, whereas quin is always a bad thing. So you should refrain them, lest impeding them, blah blah blah, when they have obtained potentia. So these young men, when you've supported them and fed them with a lot of indulgence, once they've obtained their power, that it is stultum, it's stupid and utile, to obtractere them, to complain about them, you want to say, or something like that, which you yourself, you have favourist from that. You have supported them, so it'd be stupid to obstruct or try and block their powers when you yourself have supported them. Just comparing it to a lion, once it's grown big, you've been the one that's fed it, so you should take it as it lays. Extension or external bit 8 of 7.2. Mirifique etiam thales. So it's another marvellous thing is thales, some philosopher probably. For when he was interrogatus, for when he was asked, and whether the neuter plurals, the deeds of man, if they should fallerant, do they deceive or slip by the gods, he inquired, he said, ne quidem, not even cogitus, not even your cogitations, not even your thinking goes past them. So we've got the deeds versus the thinking. So that not only your manus, your hands, but even we want to have even pure minds. When in our secret cogitations, nostris as ours, we should believe there to be at hand, ad esse, ad sum, ad esse, the celestial Newman Godhead sort of should be there with us in our secret thoughts. Part 9, ac ne quod. And so not any, and the thing which follows, there's the quidem again, so probably no good. And not even what follows is less sapient, is less wise. The pater, the nominative, of a unique girl, of a one-off child, only begotten, a sole daughter, he consulted Themistocles, I'm guessing. Here's the question, whether her, this would be the philia, to a pauper, to someone who's in poverty, but is ornato, probably politically is well respected, or to a locupletai, someone who's in the dative, who's rich, but is parum to be probadoed, is leastly to be approved of, should he conlocate, should he betroth her. Okay. Cui, to him, is pronoun for he to him inquired. He said to him in the dative, I prefer a virum. That's a man who's present participating, who's indigitem, who's lacking in or in need of pecunia, he's lacking in money, I prefer than money which is lacking a man. Okay, so if you're going to marry the guy for money, then you're lacking the man of quality. Quo dicto, with this saying, he monowitted the stultum. He advised the accusative stupid fellow that he should potius quam. He should rather pick a generum, a son-in-law, than, there's legate for picking or choosing, he should rather choose a son-in-law than riches for a son-in-law. Yeah, so you want to marry to a man, not to a sack of money. Part 10, age. Interjection, come on, of Philippi. How probabilis, how approvable is this epistole? How should you approve of this letter in which Alexandrum, I guess that's a person, Alexander, of certain Macedonians, quorum damns the pronoun, by a largesse, by bestowing of large amount of money, he's trying to get benevolem, goodwill, to, here he is, his conatum, he's trying to attract to himself, I'd say, by this largesse, the goodwill of certain Macedonians. So it's probably Alexander the Great, is it? And thus, he increpited thus. So he castigated him thus. Quae te, which to you, Philai's son, so obviously Philip, this epistle of Philip, he's the father of Alexander. He says, son, Philai, that's the vocative form of Phileus. So I'm guessing the quae goes with radio. Which reasoning was in this induxed you? What led you into such a vainam spam, into such an empty hope, that eos, they to you, you would think, existimares, them to be fidels. They would be loyal to you, futuros, in the future, whose pecunia, money, has you compelled to love of you. Okay, so money, you compelled them to love of you with money. You might want to say maybe that's a dative or a ablative, I mean. Could be. A caritate, by dearness, he was a father, he stood, and from use or from experience, he was Philip, the king. From a major part of Greece, he was a mercator. He bought more parts of Greece than he victored, than he conquered. Okay, so you might want to say he was it's like when you say don't smoke to someone when you smoke, even though it's good advice, even though you do it. So he's bought lots of Greece, but he's warning his son not to. Anyway, part 11. Aristotle, moreover, or however, what are we going? He's advised something while he was demitting present participle. He sent, looks like Callisthenes, his auditor. He sent to Alexander, Cormeum, he was talking with him, and he said, as rarely or as pleasantly, there's superlatives, speak, loquitur, with him, speak with him, rarely or just very agreeably. So that, quo skillet, by which, obviously, amongst the royal ears, either you'd be safer in silence or with your conversation it would be more accepted. If you speak more acceptingly or something, using your sermon, which is your conversation. Okay, so an auditor is a disciple with a genitive, or a pupil or a student, or a listener or a hearer, is what you'd normally think. But so he must have seen his pupil or his student. Anyway, where were we? But he, Callisthenes, I'm guessing, while he was objurgating, while he was still castigating Alexander the Macedonia Gaudentum, who was rejoicing or happy in salutations Persica. So, Alexander was a Persian and he liked being greeted, salutations as the greetings in the Persian customs. And to Macedonian mores, unwilling, invitum, to recall, so he was persevering, taking the infinitive, to recall him with goodwill, benevole, back to Macedonian mores. He was iusist, he was ordered to be care spiritu, that's one way of putting it, to be free from your spirit. Basically, he's ordered to kill himself, it looks like. And Saram, late, he exited paenentetiam. He regretted being neglectful of salubrious consul, of Remember, he's warned to speak rarely or just to be very pleasing, Yekundisme, but he spoke what he thought and he was killed. Aristotle idem, the same, concerning yourself. He was predicting, or he said in advance, so he was giving warnings, that you oughta, debere, speak of yourself in neutral part. There's loquae meaning to speak. Can speak concerning yourself in the neutral sense, to laudate yourself, since to praise yourself is of vanity. And as said, it was to vituperate, which is like to cheer yourself out, is of stupidness. Stulti. And it look like we're done for the day. Eostem of the same. It is a most utile precept or instructions that we should consider voluptates, pleasures, as they are abounding, as they're going away, as they're leaving. For which indeed, by showing themselves sick in the ostendo genitive of themselves, not genitive, gerund of themselves, by showing themselves they diminish, or their power diminishes. For to the fessus, to the tired, what have we got? And of regret, plenus. So minds are full. Look, we've got tired minds, full of regret. Subjugat nostris. That's our minds. So less we would re-seek these in desire. Okay, so he's basically saying, don't linger on the pleasures. Think of them as they leave. This way, when you're tired of them, basically, and you're full of regret, you're less likely to desire them again.